Do you believe in UFOs, astral projections, mental telepathy, ESP, clairvoyance, spirit photography, telekinetic movement, full trance mediums, the Loch Ness Monster, and the theory of Atlantis? If there's a steady paycheck in it, I'll believe anything you say.
I like how your delivery almost was just like...
yeah, it's very Harold Ramis.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
And it's just like, it's all nonchalant.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, it is, in fact, Ghostbusters. Great movie from the 80s.
It really is. That's my childhood right there.
That is my childhood.
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome to the Utterly Useless Podcast, the only podcast that's worked the private sector. They expect results. To my left is a man that isn't afraid to ban any and all supernatural entities to the point of origin or nearest parallel dimension. The Ray stance of the pod, Brett.
You know, when I trick-or-treated, that was the biggest argument that I wanted to be Ray. I had to
You trick-or-treated as a Ghostbusters?
Uh-huh.
I did
Yeah.
not know.
When I was like, I think in second or third grade. But I was forced to be Egon, which I just wanted to be Ray.
Ray.
All right. And then across from me is a man that makes it a rule never to get involved with possessed people. The Peter Venkman of the pod, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Lastly, I'll explain science to you using a Twinkie. The Egon Spangler of the pod, Timmy.
All right. Yeah. Now looking back on it as an adult, I won. Because I think Egon is probably the best.
It was cool to see him in a cameo in the latest Ghostbuster movie.
Yeah.
I picked that up on a deal on iTunes, and I've yet to watch it.
All you have to do is watch it right before the sequel comes out.
Yeah, that is true.
Well,
That is true.
yeah, I'm excited for the sequel because it comes out in March, and I'm curious to see what it's about. It looks like they're kind of going pretty big.
I'm kind of surprised. There was another movie that's coming out in March, too. And I'm like, that's a big production. I was like, why aren't you coming out in May? That's when all the big movies come out, or at least when they start.
I know the only other movie I know coming out in March, and that's a week after Ghostbusters, is Kong X Godzilla.
Well, that's coming out according to, because I have all of the movies that are announced, and the majority of them are sequels. And in March, Dune 2 comes out.
That was it.
There
Dune
it
2.
is.
Kung Fu Panda 4 also at the end of March.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters, the new one comes out at the end of March. Godzilla versus Kong or X-Con, whatever. We have the Mad Max saga, so a new one of those in May. The Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. We have Bad Boys 4, Inside Out 2, A Quiet Place Day 1. Despicable Me 4, Twisters.
I'm excited for that. I love my natural disaster movies.
I know. I wonder if there's going to be 4 cows in this one.
I hope so.
Let's see. Deadpool 3, Aliens.
We're still in March?
No, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I was like,
So,
jeez.
no, sorry. Bad Boys comes out in June. Inside Out comes in June.
Okay.
So does A Quiet Place. Despicable Me 4 comes in July. Twisters, July. Deadpool 3, July. Aliens is in August. Craven the Hunter comes out end of August. Beetlejuice 2 comes out in October. Transformers about November. Joker, which I've heard it's a musical. Like I did not want to see the first. I have not seen the first one, and making it a musical makes it even less so. Venom 3 in either late November, December. Gladiators 2 in December.
This is the sequel year.
It is.
Mm-hmm. Now, Gladiators, is that a sequel or is that a prequel?
That is a sequel.
Really?
Yes.
But I assume it, like, the story takes off, and because Gladiator's dead, I imagine, right?
I think it's supposed to take place, like, according to
Maximus.
it's supposed to be, I'm not sure if it's supposed to take place in heaven. I don't.
It's a crossover with Percy Jackson.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's just interesting.
He's going to be there with Zeus.
Yeah.
Possibly.
When and forgive me if I'm mixing up Roman and Greek, but Zeus is
Greek.
Roman. Oh, he's Greek?
Yeah.
Who's Roman? Who's
Jupiter.
Jupiter's Roman's god?
Jupiter is Zeus, the Zeus form
Very
in
equivalent.
Roman.
What is their belief when they die in either one of those? Do they get to be with the gods? What is? I know if you go to Hades, like Hades has.
Well, you have to travel the river Styx and be judged, and if you are found unworthy or you don't have enough money for the ferryman, you get to go to Hades. And then, but I'm not sure.
Where's the other direction? The other fork's like, oh, nobody's ever taken that way.
Exactly. No, it's Hades or bust.
It's all a lie.
All right, merit badges. What do we got?
Okay, well, I'll start off with my merit badge. Well, this week is not a merit badge. You guys have both been through the scouting program, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you remember the Toten chip?
Yes, I do.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
Toten
It is what you get at scout camps to have permission to use your pocket knife.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, I don't remember that at all.
Okay, well, so mine's going to be a similar badge to this. It's not quite a merit badge, but it's not a pin. It's something else entirely. So that's the closest thing that I think I can come up with. But it's the opposite badge. And so what I mean by that is I've tried this theory 3 times. And so we've all seen Seinfeld with George Costanza in the episode where he does the opposite and things just work out.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know. It's probably a year or so ago. I remember on the podcast I told you I was cursed with a red light merit badge.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and so most people, like probably me and a lot of other people, they tend to go to and from work in the same path every single time.
Yeah.
I've tried this theory 3 times where I did the opposite path, where I went in a completely different direction, and every single time I got green lights all the way.
Wow.
Like, it was bizarre. First time I did it, I thought it was a fluke. Second time I did it, I thought, is this a thing? Third time I did it, this is a thing.
Wow. Very impressive.
But I don't want to abuse it because I feel like if it becomes the new normal, then the badge gets taken away. And the power I lose.
Tim, with great power comes great responsibility.
So I have to use it wisely.
Yeah.
So it's the opposite badge.
The opposite badge.
Awesome.
Nice.
Excellent. I like long commutes. My brain just kind of shuts off and I just listen to podcasts. And
I like long commutes as long as the least amount of lights involved. That's
the
commute.
thing.
That's the commute.
Well, to me, it's not the lights. It is the traffic. Because what is it? I went when I was going to, we live very close to the University of Utah. And by pretty close, I mean probably about a 10, 12 mile drive.
Mm-hmm.
I attended not the University of Utah. My commute was actually 40 miles away, which basically was almost the same commute because of the congestion up going to the University of Utah compared to down in Orem.
Mm-hmm.
I love that commute because it was a clean shot. There was no traffic. I was just constantly moving. And that's what I like about traffic. Is the constant flow.
And that's what I agree with. And that's why I don't like lights, because I feel like it's not a constant flow.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what direction I take, I've got a massive amount of lights.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're down at BYU. So, I mean, yeah. I mean, the only way that you could do that is if you had secret underground tunnels that you could go to and from work.
Or like if there was a commuter lane or something like that goes straight shot.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Somebody needs to do that right now.
You totally used to live in California.
There's a commuter lane in Lehigh.
I know.
Are you talking about, the commuter lane from Lehigh to Alpine?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
That is true. I forgot about that one. All right. So I got, on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, I got this merit badge. It is called, and I guess you could have the McDonald's arches in it. It's called I'm Loving It.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah. I woke up to multiple text messages. My phone felt like it was exploding. I was wondering what the heck was going on. Like, why is somebody texting me this early in the morning? Somebody stole my credit card and was just buying stuff left and right. And then I think they were doing smaller purchases, and then to test it out, one of the purchases was McDonald's. Then they bought airline tickets, and then they bought something. I think they probably paid themselves or something like that, which that was finally dinged as a fraudulent charge. So I look at my phone, like I'm super, super hazy, trying to figure out what the heck is going on. Because sometimes, all these charges, at least for me, come all at once because it's from my Amazon subscribe and save. And so I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at it, and all of these charges, I have no idea where they came from, what their point of origin was. And so I call the fraud department at my bank, and I'm going through all the things, and they're like, yeah, we flagged this one as a fraud. I go, okay, well, these ones are fraudulent too. And they're just like, are you sure? Are you sure you haven't bought airline tickets? Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I'm not.
Yes, I'm pretty sure I have not bought any airline tickets yet. And they're like, are you sure? I'm like, I don't have a vacation to go to currently. So yes, I know I have not bought any airplane tickets. And they're like, well, what about this one? I said, this one for $24.50 something. And they're like, are you sure you haven't, you didn't charge this at McDonald's? I go, I haven't eaten at McDonald's this century. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have not. That is not my charge. And it was, you're sitting there talking to this guy, and you could almost hear some crickets, like, he hasn't eaten at McDonald's. Like, this is 2024. Like, I'm like,
I mean, I get that because I had a coworker of mine boast that she's like, I've just never, ever since my adult life, I haven't eaten at a fast food restaurant. And we just all stared at her like, no, that's not possible.
you know what? That would be minus Chick-fil-A. that would be a merit badge I'd be super proud of.
But it's funny because then we started talking about different places. Somebody brought up Shake Shack. She's like, oh, I love Shake Shack. I was like, that's fast food. She's like, that's classified as fast food. Like, yeah. Like most of the stuff that you can go up and order, walk out, it encourages you to either sit or go. That is fast food.
You start listing up things. Carl's Jr., that's fast food?
Yeah, I know, right?
That's fast food.
Taco Bell, that's fast food?
Taco Bell's fast food. Well, it makes you go fast also.
It does.
Thought that was fine dining.
Taco Bell.
Sorry to interrupt you. All right. Well, prepare for my merit badge.
All right.
I earned this one. It's called Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Ooh, all right.
So this week I traveled to Vancouver, Canada, and everything that could go wrong went wrong with this trip. So I had a layover in Seattle, and so I flew from Utah to Seattle. Everything's fine, hunky-dory there. I get there, and, I see that the plane's probably going to be a little late. I was like, okay, it's not a big deal. Within an hour after, the time that we should have departed, they canceled the flight. And that's it for the flights for today.
Whoa.
And I was like, because the weather was bad and planes were being diverted away from Vancouver because they were just having a downpour of snow. And then they also had low visibility because the clouds were really low and all that. So I was like, great. Well, I've got to get there by today so I can start working tomorrow. So, in hindsight, I should have assumed, I don't know why I didn't think of this. I don't see it as a natural. I just assumed if my flight's canceled, all the other flights are canceled too. So I started looking for ground options. Mm-hmm. But I think my plane, I went with Alaska Airlines, which is the first time I've ever flown with Alaska Airlines. I did not enjoy my time with them.
Last time, though.
Yeah. And so then I started looking for ground options, and I saw some of the buses were canceled and some of the trains were canceled. And I'm like, how am I going to get there? I need to get there tomorrow. So the person I'm trying to meet sends me this link, and it's a ticket to via a train. And I'm like, okay, I found a train that's going to go. And so I buy the ticket. I Uber there to the train station, and I'm like looking around and I'm like, hey, where is this? Because I don't know trains very well. I'm like, where is this platform or whatever? And they're like, oh, that's not till Friday. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they sent me the wrong day of this. I'm like, that's why the train was going. And so I'm looking, I'm like, is there anything going that direction? And they're like, no, there's nothing like going from here. There's nothing going that direction. You should try a different, like a bus from a different company. So I tried a bus from a different company, and I'm like, oh, looks like they're going to go. And I'm like, it's not too far. Like, I start walking outside about to order an Uber, and then I see one of those little scooters. I was like, it's not far. I'll try one of those out. So I scootered my way all the way to the next location in the rain, nonetheless, I was like, this is dumb in hindsight. And so then I get there, and then I ride the bus there. And then, so I already have 3 vehicles under four, plane, car from Uber, scooter, and a bus. And then on the way back, I take a light rail to the airport. And then on the way back, I take an airplane, and it gets canceled again. Well, I haven't even taken it yet from Vancouver back home. I'm supposed to go to Oregon. That gets like delayed big time. And I'm like, I'm going to miss my next flight. And so they put me on a different plane, luckily, and send me back to Seattle.
Oh.
And then I get back to Salt Lake, and which is nice because they put me in business class. And I was like, thank you. At least something came out of this. But this was the most like trying time of trying to get somewhere, because they like that first original flight that completely got canceled. Like, oh, we'll put you on tomorrow's flight. I was like, I can't. That was not going to work. So, yeah, that sucked. It was fun, and it sucked at the same time. Because I was like, what? This will be fun.
So hindsight being 2020 now, what would you what would you do differently?
What I would have done differently is I would have looked to see if any other airlines would have, were flying out. That's what I would have done differently. As I didn't realize, I thought this was an everybody thing, not just them thing for some reason, that they're not going and they're canceling their flight. But yeah, I saw like Delta was still flying there, and after, like in hindsight, I was like on the bus riding up to Vancouver, and I was like, oh, there's other flights going out. Great, wonderful. No yelling on the bus. And then also going through Border Patrol through a bus. I don't know, just felt weird.
I bet. Did they walk on, or did they?
No, we all had to exit the bus and go, claim everything and all that stuff. It was a Canadian Border Patrol.
Oh.
The Mounties. I don't know. This is Mounties.
E.
And the one thing, I don't know how, I've only been across the border as an adult twice.
Mm-hmm.
And I do not like the way that they treat you. Like, they interrogate you, and they don't do it very kindly.
No. In fact, what was it? When I went to England for the first time, just before we descended, probably about 40 minutes before we landed in London, they gave us, these
paper.
cards to fill out. And, I'm going on a bus tour. And so I'm like, and, they want an address to where you're going to be going. And I'm like, I don't have an address. I have all of these locations that my bus tour is going to be going on. And so I choose the main hotel address that I'm going to be at for at least 7 days of the entirety of the 21 days. And so I arrive at the border and I present it to this lady, and she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm going here on vacation. And she looks at the address. She goes, you're going to be staying at a hotel for all 21 days? I go, well, no, I'm on a bus tour. And she hands me a pencil and she goes, I need all the addresses in which you're going to be at.
Wow.
That's too much.
I needed a second card.
Wow.
So the following 2 years later, I go to the UK with my dad, and I'm sweating bullets because I know what I experienced the previous time. And my dad's just like, no, let's just just put the first hotel and we'll be done. I'm like, no, I this lady was so mean, and I think it's like just what they expect you to do. And, Dad has constantly gone on business trips here and there, and he's like, no, I'm not going to do that. So we go through the customs, and there's this one thing, and they're just like, what are you doing? And we're like, we're here on vacation. Oh, that sounds fun. Stamp.
Jeez, yeah. Yeah, this guy interrogated me about my work, everything about my work. And I was like, and I hate describing my work to anybody, because I mean, when I applied for this job, I'm like, what does this do? What is this job all about? And then so I try to explain to other people, and it's not the easiest thing to explain unless you know what corporate events like and how they work are. And this person's like, you are planning this very early. I'm like, yeah, we're getting a head start. He's like, why are you planning it early? Well, because we want to. I don't know. And then like, well, who's meeting you there? And I'm like, these people. Like, I know you're just trying to make sure that I'm not like just BSing. But I'm like, honestly, it's not that hard if I really was coming across the border to be malicious in any way to make this up.
Yeah. Bob Smith, Rob Johnson,
Just look behind people. Buzz and Frog.
Buzz and Frog over in the Your Lava Rivers in the
I've seen that movie.
That'd be so funny. It's like wrongfully accused.
Denied. It's like, but, and then the funny thing is on the way back out of Canada, you have to go through, customs again. And I'm seeing all these people being interrogated. This lady just like puts out her hand for my passport. She looks at it. She looks at everything on the computer, blah, 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 blah. Doesn't really even say a word to me. Here you go. Hands it right back. You're good to go. I'm like, no questions? I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I was like,
I mean, I've had the passport where they hold it up to me and just kind of go back and forth.
Yeah.
And then this past time when we landed in San Francisco and I handed it to them, they looked at the picture and then they just handed it back to me. I'm like, I could have like,
yeah.
Did they get a good look beforehand or?
Then my favorite thing also is, so they had randomly selected, I don't know, people's names, like calling out for security. It was just like, that was the stereotypical, like 5 people, like 4 names you couldn't pronounce, like very easily. And then Bob Smith. It's just like, yeah, you just threw that in there to like make sure that doesn't seem like racist or something like that. I was like, geez, that's funny.
Either that or you have a very large international flight.
It's true. It's true.
I don't know. I feel like what you went through is more than a merit badge.
I know. That's like almost the Order of the Arrow type of a thing.
Or
know,
the
really
arrow
was.
or whatever the...
Ooh. Order of the Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
There you go.
There you go.
But luckily I was allowed to talk.
Yeah.
Spin the wheel.
All right, we have Spin the Wheel, where we have 10 categories of questions. We're going to spin the wheel to decide who is going to be asking what. First up is Timmy, and here we go. You have Would You Rather.
I found this one online and because I just was running a blank. Would you rather be trapped in a romantic comedy with your enemies?
I'm like, do you know the funny thing about this is? Just 1 second. Stop,
pause.
please. Pause. Just 1 second.
Hey!
What, is this under your Would You Rather or something?
Yes. The one in black.
The one in black. Oh, okay.
I got to do it
That's
first.
funny. That's hilarious. That is funny.
So, would you rather be trapped in a romantic comedy with your enemies or trapped in a horror movie with your friends?
Like, enemies would be just like people I don't get along with, right?
I mean,
So I was thinking about, obviously, I've thought about this. So, I mean, here's the dilemma. You're in a romantic comedy with people you hate, or you're in like a chainsaw Jason Friday the 13th movie with your friends who could be like
Potentially
violently
killed.
murdered or something like that.
That is a hard choice. And I take it I'm stuck in this world forever.
I don't know. I don't know. It could be like the Last Action Hero when you're done, you get out.
All right. Oh man. Well, part of me likes horror films, but I don't want to see any of my family or friends murdered. Oh man. But I guess I would want to be with people I hate in a rom-com. And I could probably get some enjoyment out of that. Do I know I'm in a movie?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Because then I'll be
So
like,
it's like either like the Last Action Hero or flick syncs, like in Ready Player One.
okay. All right. Yeah. I'm picking the rom-com. I think that'll be fun. It'll be interesting to see. Am I the lead or am I?
Of course, you're the lead.
I'm the lead, so I'm in a rom-com. So I wonder what girl is going to be the one that I hate. That
Well,
Go away, Margot.
exactly.
you know the sad part about the whole thing is your movie is gonna, and because I've thought about this. This is going to be one of those the proposal situations where I'm gonna hate the ending completely.
Yeah. But to get out of the movie, you have to fall in love.
Yeah.
That'll be
With the
interesting.
wrong person.
They're the wrong person. Then you're out, and you're like, I'm kind of puzzled how I feel about this now. We went through that whole journey together. We fell in love, and then
I still hate you.
I still hate her. But yeah, I'm out, and I fell in love. I'm like, ugh, this is awful.
It's a mental.
I need to go to therapy now.
Exactly. So why are you saying me? I fell in love with a girl I hate to get out of a situation. I still hate her, but I miss her at the same time.
No, does this go back to your mother?
No, it goes back to a movie that I was trapped in. Have you seen The Last Action Hero? And Groundhog's Day kind of merged into one.
That'd be funny. The movie doesn't work out. It starts over. Like you didn't get to the ending you were supposed to get to.
No.
This is not a choose your own ending. This is you got to get to the ending.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I might choose horror.
Great, you're putting us in harm's way.
You know what?
Criddle.
You know what, Tim? I'm glad we're not friends.
I mean,
Well, I mean, because the way I see it is it once it's over, it's over.
that,
You're like, oh,
I guess
hey,
that's
you
true.
guys. You guys are okay. It was just a nightmare.
Okay, I guess that is a good point. I didn't even think about. For some reason, I thought I was life itself. Like it was continuing on. Oh man, because it ends and you get out. I'm going with rom-com still.
Yeah, because I think you have traumatic, post-traumatic stress from you're sitting there just talking to your friend and you're just like, so how are things going? And then meanwhile, in the back of your mind, you just replay the whole thing where you just saw it like viciously occur. You're just like, really? Oh, ah.
It's like on Supernatural when Sam watches
Oh, yeah.
Dean get murdered millions of times.
Uh-huh.
You died once.
I saw.
Stay away from that.
All right, Brett, you're up next, and you got Could You Fight It?
All right. So I came up with this last week while I was editing last week's podcast because I had a throwaway line of, what if Black Panther 2 didn't suck? And could you fight Namor during the point in time where he had the oversized hair dryer that was drying him out, kind of reducing his power?
I've never seen number 2, but I didn't even know Namor was in it.
Yeah. Sorry. It's in the movie because they didn't want to give the original creator of Namor any money. They renamed him to Namor.
Okay.
Because I was sitting there thinking about it because I'm like, he's still kind of powerful, but he doesn't have like his water power that like he can influence. And so I was just thinking about that.
He's still douchey.
Yeah. And then the other thing is because after thinking about that, I went and watched Screen Rant's pitch meeting for that. And then I was like, let's see. So am I like the Black Panther where I actually have been run through with a Namor's stick or whatever, and perfectly fine, barely an inconvenience. I'm sitting there thinking, am I just me? And so I was trying to go back and forth with this. I think it's just you. You're not Black Panther, who can magically survive being run through the heart with a piercing stick or something like that.
I'll give it the college try. Sure.
I already had that answer locked and loaded too. Yeah, I don't know anything about this. For some reason, when you said a big hair dryer, I thought of Spaceballs and somebody with a big hair dryer. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'd probably just throw a bunch of salt at him or something just to try and dry him out.
Yeah, I think I'd be doing it, and the entire time in the back of my mind, I'd be like, "You're such a douche."
yep, I'll fight him. Show me where he's at. I'll get him.
All right.
I'm up next, and I will do Desert Island. All right. Would you rather be stuck on a desert island with both of these are people who are unable to help you, a child, or an elderly person? So
Unable to help?
they're not able. They're like more of an inconvenience.
How old is the child? Because that could be cute.
Let's just say about 3. And the elderly person's like 80s, 90s, just not really able to help much.
Elderly
They have
person.
wisdom.
Elderly person.
Yeah, I think elderly person.
But then when he dies, you're going to be alone.
I'm fine with that.
Oh, just continue to talk to him. I mean, Tom Hanks talked to a volleyball.
You wouldn't
You're
happen
going to
to
carry
have a
around his
match.
skull.
Call him Hamlet.
You don't want to raise a child and like show him the ways.
Yeah, but you have to endure all the. I'm hungry.
Are we there yet? Yes, we're there.
We've been here for a
I'm
while.
hot.
There's sand in my nether regions.
Guess what? It's not going away.
I would take the kid. All right. Timmy, you get random question.
If you could move one holiday to another month, what would it be? And when?
I feel like there needs to be better holidays past Christmas until I'm trying to think of, because there's definitely times where the summer is nice because it's warm outside. It used to be better when you were a kid because you wouldn't have school, but you've got work now, except for Brett. So holidays are helpful yet pointless. I feel like sometimes in the summer. I feel like around April, May needs a good holiday. Maybe Thanksgiving needs to be moved a little bit so that, Christmas.
Space it out.
Yeah, space it out.
I was thinking moving New Year's to February.
Why is that?
Just to spread out between Christmas,
Christmas, yep.
and,
That's
and,
true.
and New Year's.
Yeah, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's is all kind of like congested.
And I'm not saying take away the winter break because I think that's very necessary for schools and everything. But insanity. But like move New Year's to like the beginning of February, and then you have like a 2 or 3 day weekend there.
You usually have President's Day too in February. I'm moving Thanksgiving to, because think about it, Halloween, it'd go Halloween Christmas instead of Halloween Thanksgiving Christmas. So I feel like that's a good enough.
I mean, you got your sweet, your savory, your sweet.
Yeah. I'm moving Thanksgiving to, I want May. May needs some love.
Yeah, Mother's Day is not enough.
Yep. Nothing better to say. I love you, Mom. Cook this grand Thanksgiving dinner.
Let's see. I would move the 4th of July to May the 4th because
Star Wars Day.
yeah, I think it'd be funny that it's basically Star Wars Day. Also, it would give me an extra day off during the school year and it would give less people a day off during my my summer vacation.
And
Oh man, that's just mean.
and May is the end of the school year, so like having that extra day off would be nice.
I mean, if I could undo something, I would undo President's Day so that we could celebrate George Washington's Day and Abraham Lincoln Day, like when I was a kid in elementary school.
I forgot about that. I swear, as a kid, at one point we celebrated. I mean, I know what the taboo-ness about it is now, but Christopher Columbus Day. I swear that used to be. Was that ever a day off? I felt
No.
like it was.
No,
Okay.
it was never a day off.
It should be.
I remember my favorite thing that would pop up was we would mock it for years because we had no idea. I think it was explained to us once and it never made any sense. But we had, I don't remember if you remember this, Jeremy, but on our calendars in either late April or early May, we would have a day called Snow Day that
I
we would
remember
get
that.
off.
Yep.
And it wasn't until the first snow day of my entire schooling life occurred. I want to say like in like 10th or 11th grade, maybe, that it was like we had to go to school on snow day.
Yeah.
And it was always like, but we never go to school on snow day. Snow day is a day off. And they're like, no, snow day is a built-in day. So if we have a snow day, you don't get that day off.
Yep.
And I felt so robbed
You felt cheated.
having
Yep.
to go to school on snow day.
That's why you got to get out of school snow day like at least 2 or 3 days. That way it makes it worth it. All right. And that was Criddle's question. So, Brett, you're up and you got Kiss, Marry, Kill.
All right. Kiss, Marry, Kill these movies. X-Men 3, The Last Stand, or whatever it's called.
Okay.
X-Men Dark Phoenix,
Never seen
I
it.
haven't seen it.
Batman and Robin.
Batman Robin. That's the one with.
That one is George Clooney.
Okay. I as bad as that movie is, I do like it.
Without that, you wouldn't have The Dark Knight.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah. It was so bad they had to reboot Batman.
That's true. And let me remind me the Batman Robin, the bad guy in
Mr.
that
Freeze
and
Poison Ivy.
and Bane.
Bane is just like a henchman.
Henchman, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it just those two though?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I'll probably let's see. Sorry. Say the first two again.
So X-Men The Last Stand, X-Men Dark Phoenix, and then Batman and Robin.
Okay, I know what I'm doing, but if you want to go first, go for it.
I'm gonna kiss X-Men, The Last Stand. I'm gonna marry Batman and Robin, and I'm gonna kill Dark Phoenix.
That's exactly what I was going to do.
So wait, you said you haven't seen Dark Phoenix.
yeah, but I assume.
But
Anything past Days of Future Past has kind of gone downhill.
And anything that is around the Dark Phoenix, they just screw it up.
see, I thought you would totally kill X-Men The Last Stand because that whole Alcatraz thing.
Yeah.
Like I know.
And on the bridge.
I know you are at least I feel as though you were a Cyclops fan.
Oh yeah.
And it was, to me, so traumatic that they killed Cyclops within like the first 3 seconds of the movie.
I don't even recall that, to be honest, but I was fine with it with that series. Like, I mean, the X-Men series at the time it came out, I remember I was so jazzed about it. It kind of reminds me about other movies that came out in that era. That I was like, oh, all right, here's number 1, awesome. Number 2, awesome. Number 3, and then like give me like a couple months spaced out from them. I'm like, they weren't as good as I thought they were. Like, why was I so excited? And why was I like so happy about them? Like, I remember Mummy 1 and Mummy 2 and Mummy 3 also the same thing. And Matrix 1, 2, and 3, like all of them. I was like, yeah, these are all great. And then I'm like, give me some time, and I'm like, no, they weren't all great.
Took me over a decade to watch Mummy 3.
Oh, yeah?
I couldn't get behind it.
I haven't seen it yet, and I own it.
If I had $1 for every single time I've said that, or actually that is true, I would probably at least have $1,000.
But it's
about
funny
the
because
same.
when I watched Jurassic Park 1, 2, and 3, I knew immediately after watching them that 2 was horrible.
Oh yeah,
And 3 was entertaining.
Yeah.
I'll give it that. So
And one's the best.
And
one
one's
is
the
the
best.
best of all the
Uh-huh.
games. Yep. All right, Brett, would you?
So I
Wait.
would. So out of all of them, I have not seen Batman and Robin, but knowing the fact that because of its existence, we got the Christopher Nolan trilogy, I would marry that. The Dark Phoenix is not good, but the whole weirdness of taking the Golden Gate Bridge and taking it over to Alcatraz Island is just odd. Like I remember watching it just going, I hate this. And I'm like, and this is before I figured out, or before me and Jeremy started having our silent unwritten rule. If neither one of us said anything, we would we hated it, because I knew it about me. So we walked out of the, because I remember seeing it with Jeremy and a couple of your friends, and I just remember walking out of the movie and just going, I hate that so much. Like, that was so weird. What was with that? And I just didn't say anything, and everybody else around me is just talking. Yeah, it was great. It was kind of weird that this happened. I go, kind of weird? Kind of weird?
Yeah.
No, that's like, oh, I hate, like, every so often iTunes will have the original X-Men trilogy pop up, and it's just like, the first one's good, second one's okay. I can't own the third one.
Yeah. I really wish Marvel would make a X-Men versus Avengers movie. I really enjoyed that comic book. It's probably not as great as I make it out to be, but I loved it.
Put Joe and Anthony Russo in charge of it.
There you go.
There we go. I'll see it.
All right. Move on to the last question from me. I get what if. Woof. Okay, this is kind of funny that I have this question, because it's similar to Krill's question, which also is similar to what Brett already have lined up. Okay. If you were sucked into a TV streaming service, like, what is that channel changing movie? I was trying to remember what it's called.
Stay tuned
Is it Stay Tuned? Is that the one with...
Stay Tuned or Tune In? Or I think it's Stay Tuned.
with John Ritter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
with
think
John
it's Stay
Ritter.
Tuned.
Stay tuned.
Or if you're more familiar with Pleasantville, like that
Pleasantville.
too. But the difference is Stay Tuned or whatever it is.
Stay tuned.
They can jump from channel to channel or show to show.
100%. Stay
But
Yeah,
if you were
Stay Tuned.
sucked into a streaming service, which one would you pick? I mean, I feel like the safe bet is Disney. Like, you're not going to get hurt.
But if you're a parent, there's a chance you could die.
Well, yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's Marvel now in there, and there is now like Echo and other stuff. Like,
Oh, that was so. I got.
is
15
Punisher in there? I
Yeah.
wonder.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
I got 15 minutes into Echo, and I was like, I can't stand this. I would choose Netflix just because there's a variety.
Because you could go to Allison. Allison.
Oh yeah,
Bornad.
and me and the King of Hearts or King of Diamond or Spades, best friends for life. I mean, until he ends up having to
I would probably pick Netflix just because there's a lot of variety on there.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there's lots of documentaries. There's lots of there's CW shows on there. There's cooking shows. I mean, it's
Then you
wide
see shows
spectrum.
come and go.
You see shows come and go. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably get stuck in Netflix.
That's true, because Disney, you're going to get the same thing, except you'll get add-ons eventually.
I mean, to me, it's not the horror movies that I'm scared of.
Yeah.
It's the people bursting into song and dance that's the most disturbing.
I mean, it also depends on and also who's controlling the remote.
I think you are.
Oh,
Because
I am.
isn't he in charge of it?
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Oh well,
He is, and then he loses it at one
Oh,
point
okay.
in time. But yeah,
okay.
I mean, if you lose it, that's up to you. It's on you. Yeah, if it was a Netflix, they could go to Supernatural. They have all 15 seasons there.
There you go. Welcome.
All right, I guess we're all going Netflix.
Well, we have a new segment today. We teased it a little bit ago. We started a segment a little while ago about poorly explained movie plots. And then it was teased about possibly doing poorly written movie quotes. That has come to pass today. And so I have 7 poorly written movie quotes. And It is your job to guess what it is. Doesn't matter if you want to be on a team or against each other.
Okay.
Number 1. I am the Flying Metal Man.
I'm
Iron
Iron Man.
Iron Man. Cool. I started off easy.
Are we saying the movie or are we saying the quote? Like, are we trying to correct the quote?
The movie. Just
Okay.
The movie. What's from? Hey, dog. This place don't look familiar.
Hey, dog.
Hey, dog. This place don't look familiar.
Oh, Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz.
Oh.
Hey, dog. This place don't look.
I was not expecting something like from the 1940s with Hey Dog.
I know, right? I tried to like find like what is it, synonyms for some of the words. I was like, oh, okay, I think I got
It was
this.
poorly written.
Yeah.
You know, you joke that, and that's going to be like in a new movie, and it's just going to be, and the instant you hear it, you're just going to, they stole that from me.
And there will be a loss. Okay. With this gift, I got to be careful.
This gift. Oh, no.
Well, with great.
Oh, is it
Spider-Man?
that one?
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
This writing device is cobalt.
Cobalt. What is cobalt?
Cool.
Cool?
I think.
Blue.
Blue. Oh, liar.
Liar, liar.
Oh.
I didn't know what cobalt was. I'm like, is that a metal?
Okay, this one might be a little tougher. We'll see. That power, you can have it.
That power, you can have it.
That power, you can have it.
This sounds so familiar.
Yeah. I mean, if it wasn't poorly written, it'd be easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. Could you tease us with like a decade?
70s.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
70s. That power, you can have it.
Is it Star Wars?
It is Star Wars.
Oh.
May the Force be with you.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. My valuable.
My precious.
Yes.
Lord of the Rings.
I knew that was going to be too easy. Okay, and last one. I'm president of the planet.
I'm present. I'm king of the world.
Yeah.
What? Hold on. Is that Titanic?
Titanic.
Okay. That took me a moment.
Oh, Jack.
I have to say this. So I'm watching this show. Have you ever seen The Night Agent?
Yes, that is really good.
It was really good. I just
I've heard
started
it's
it.
good.
I just started it. And her name is Rose. And all the times that he says, Rose,
Yeah.
get on here. I was like,
I remember watching it just going, you just needed to change a different name. You
Yeah.
can't say that name is forever synonymous with Titanic.
exactly. You can't use Rose. Because, yeah, constant. And it's like, oh, Jack said that same thing in Titanic. And look where we are now.
I'm hoping that they do a second season of The Night Agent.
That'd be good. I thought you were going to say do a sequel of the Titanic.
I'd be in for it.
Jack returns.
Jack returns. The Titanic's revenge.
He's like a monster that comes out all with kelp and all that stuff all over him, seaweed, and it was like,
You
Rose,
promised never to let go.
You let
You
go.
dropped this bracelet also.
I found this. Oh, thank you. You got old. I don't want to draw you anymore.
He's like, I'm covered in kelp and kind of partially decayed and eaten by fish and whatnot. But you got old and ugly. Peace out.
I'm still too good for you.
Exactly.
Draft, boom.
All right, we're going to play Draft Boom, where we're going to be drafting sequels, the best sequels, the number 2s of the movie, whatever series. And then the last round, we're going to give each other a boom, which is the one that's going to tank the team. That's going to be the worst. It's going to be the. I'm actually hinting at one of them, the thorn of the team. I don't know if you get that, Brett.
Uh-huh.
Okay, or Dorn. That's what I meant. Is it
Okay.
Dorn. That's
There
his
we go.
name from Major League.
Darn.
It's going to be essentially the worst player on our team. So we're going to start off with Criddle and then come around. And so once we're on the last round, on the 4th round, we're going to pick for the person that was previous to us.
Okay. Well, I will tell you, I'm only concerned for my first draft pick, and it could only be probably stolen by Tim.
I doubt it. I mean, I'm going with the 101 of sequels here, and I'm sure Jeremy knows what it is.
Yeah, I know what it
It's
is.
a movie we saw together.
Yep.
It is The Dark Knight.
Oh, okay.
Yep. That was on my list, and I was like, if by some miracle gets to me, I'll be happy.
Okay. All right. I'm not concerned about my number one now. I'm going to go with one that I was dusting off my bookcase, and I'm like, I've not seen that in at least a decade. And I think it is the best of the trilogy.
No.
I'm going to go with The Two Towers.
No. No. I was like, surely that will get to me. Surely if he'll, but I was like, Criddle's going to pick Dark Knight. By some miracle, if that gets past. And I was like, Brett's going to pick something that I didn't see coming. But no. You're the worst.
Shattered Glass.
Yeah. Well, now my number one pick is like, I feel like this is like the NBA draft, like come
Yes.
to life. Like, I was expecting Tim's first pick to destroy mine. And then I would be kind of reeling and not have gone with that pick. But because of that, I'm not concerned because I know Jeremy won't steal my actual number one pick.
Probably not. No, I just feel like you guys took out all the air out of me. Like the other movies that I have on my list are great. I love them, but those are of a higher tier. Gosh darn it. I dare argue that those are probably two of the best sequels.
Well, you got the wheel, so you get
Yeah.
two
Yeah,
picks.
okay.
I mean, look, that's a bonus.
Shoot. I feel like I just have garbage now. Like in comparison. Like I didn't even get one A-list like movie. Oh my gosh.
Hey,
Jurassic
Homer,
Park
not
2 still
toxic.
available.
Oh,
Yep, I know. I just want to think of maybe I'm missing something. But I'm gonna just pick a movie that I already alluded to. Major League 2.
That was on the worst list, wasn't it?
it
It
was
was.
on the worst list.
It
When I
was.
saw that, I was just
I
like,
knew
that
it.
is not a bad movie.
No, it is not.
It's better than the first
it
one. I
really
think.
is.
When I saw that list, I saw that and I was like, that's on his list.
Yes.
Yep.
Major League 2 is awesome. Like and Major League 1 is less awesome.
Yeah.
Major League 3 is okay.
I mean, yeah, because number 2 has Hiroshima Kamikaze Tanaka,
Yes.
formerly of the Nakahami Giants, who's knocked himself out for the past 3 out of the 4 games. If you ask me, he just wants to get out of play.
The one thing is like, so I don't know how often you guys use GIFs on your texts and all that stuff. The one one GIF I want, and I think about it every few little bit, and I should probably just figure out how to make it myself. But it is the Randy Quaid like, oh come on, or was it? It's like, just tear this place down,
Tear this
pull
place
out the bulldozers.
Take out that pooper scooper. Yeah, Randy Quaid in that is great. I thought you were going to talk about the marbles where he do.
Oh yeah, no, but that would be a good one too if that was there. Shoot, but I just feel like I traded, like, this is the NBA draft, and I didn't have a first round pick because I traded away in previous years, and this is my second round.
Welcome to being the New York Knicks for like 3 years.
All right. Wow, I just hate this. Hold on. All right. I'm gonna do this because of spite. I'm gonna do this completely out of spite because I feel like this is value to at least one of you. I'm gonna do Captain America,
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier.
That
That's
wasn't
a
on my
good
list.
one. What wasn't on my list, but that's a good one.
That's a good
Darn
one.
it.
All right, I'm going to go for my actual number 1 draft pick that I feel fortunate to not be stolen. I'm going to go with The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, I knew
Dang it.
I knew that was going to be on one of your
I
lists.
was worried that was going to be your number one.
I was hoping that would slide.
It would slide past.
That's honestly, it's funny because I knew when you said Criddle's not going to, he might take it, but I'm not going to. I'm like, it's that one. Why didn't I take that one out of spite? That's the one I should have taken out of spite. I screwed up my spite pick.
You have spike remorse.
Yes, I do.
Oh, dang it.
I'm
Okay.
bad at this game. I'm bad at this.
Okay, so it's my turn. I got the wheel. Well, Empire's out, so that was my number 2. I will go with. I like this sequel. To me, it was probably my most watched out of the trilogy growing up, and that is Back to the Future 2.
I enjoyed that one. Brett did not like it.
I really liked that. I don't know why.
Here's my thing. I have gotten into massive arguments regarding this. I like Future World.
Yeah,
Future
World's
World
great.
is fun.
Uh-huh.
I like part 2 of the being back in 1955, trying not to see yourself, but also try to do other things. I hate this part in the between, which I like to deem as Biff World, where for some reason,
yeah, that's true. Biff World does suck a little bit.
where
The alternate timeline.
for some reason the U.S. government is allowing a complete, like, he is basically like some totalitarian, like, dictatorship. I don't understand how this could happen.
Uh-huh.
I mean, yeah. Anyway,
We have to live in that reality to find out.
at least it's not. I don't think it's on Netflix, so I won't find out.
No. Okay. And then I get the wheel. I am going to go with. We're going with sequels. I'm going to go with Star Trek 2.
That is a
I
good
was
one.
wondering if that was going to be picked.
I like the Wrath of Khan.
Okay, I have a question for you because I was listening to a podcast the other day and this question came up, and I do have remorse for not picking Star Trek 2 over Empire Strikes Back, but I just knew you were going to go Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, it was going to be an ultimate list.
So here's my question. Which one is the best out of both of those? Is it Wrath of Khan or is it Empire Strikes Back?
No, it's Empire.
It's Empire.
Okay. Because I was sitting there thinking, I have probably, like,
I'm more nostalgic for Star Trek, but
Mm-hmm.
I would say Empire's better.
Empire, I think, is the better movie because it has one of the greatest reveals of all time. And but I mean, Wrath of Khan I like Khan in that movie. I almost like Khan in that movie more than I do Vader.
yeah.
I know that's might be controversial to a lot of people, but to me, like, just the limits that Khan pushes in that movie is pretty great.
Yeah. I think what separates it is there's more lulls. Like, the action is high in Wrath of Khan, but there's more lulls in Wrath of Khan. Whereas you start off in Hoth. I think to me the only real big lull is when they're in Dagobah.
Yeah,
That is kind of like,
the training.
yeah. And then it amps up at the very end.
Yeah.
So it's kind of very similar, but I think I kind of want to go Wrath of Khan, but I think either one, you win either way.
Kobayashi Maru in a positive way.
Uh-huh. All right. So I was thinking about this pick. Part of me wants to go Top Gun Maverick, even though I've never seen the actual original Top Gun. I really enjoyed it. But when I was looking at the list of sequels,
Did you hear there's the third one?
I heard a rumor about that.
Yeah.
It's true.
I've also heard that The Edge of Tomorrow, which I love, is now on iTunes has been renamed to Live, Die, Repeat because that's what people thought the movie was called. So on iTunes, you can't, if you search out Edge of Tomorrow, it will pop up, but the actual title is Live, Die, Repeat, colon, Edge of Tomorrow.
Where did people get that idea that that's what the movie's called? That's weird.
Because
It's based off a book or a graphic novel.
Oh, okay.
yeah. But so yeah, that's going to have a sequel coming out shortly also.
I enjoyed that.
But this one has lots of nostalgic love for me, and I think it is the best one out of kind of a trilogy, even though there's 4 of them. I'm going to go with Superman 2.
Okay.
That was on my list. I have some honorable mentions at the end.
Yeah, I do too. I'm sad that this is my last round because I feel like I'm walking away with just a whole bunch of my B squad. You guys have an A squad.
You could be the team that could.
Yeah. We're going to have to trade.
The movie sequel team that could.
Trade my whole draft just for one of you guys. Gosh.
I mean, there's still I won't tell you.
Anybody were to see these lists and be like, wow, Jeremy got the crap end of the deal here.
Man, there's a couple of them that I didn't even think about until just a second ago.
Oh dear.
He's going to go with Paddington too.
And
I
that's
hear
okay.
What movie is it they talk about Paddington and crying? Or was that off of Ted Lasso? I don't know. Somebody's like, I dare you to watch Paddington without crying. I'm torn between 2. And I am going to pick... Whoops. I'm going to pick Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
All right.
That was on my list.
I don't like how you go, okay, Brett. like, yo, you do you. You do you.
I sorry, didn't even make my...
It's like, okay, good job, little fella.
All right. Well, here comes the dump. So
Yeah, at least I get the first of the dumps. That's right. I get to give it to you, Brett.
at least there's not a Juno too.
I know. I actually thought I saw that for a second. I was like, oh, there it is. Man, there's one that I give you, and I know you hate it with all your heart. And I'm probably going to give you that one then.
Okay.
Transformers.
I don't hate it with all my heart, but I do hate Transformers too.
Yeah.
The stupid yellow slug bug.
The twins?
The twins.
Yeah.
I mean,
And then the extremely jacked nerd who only claims the only way he claims he's a nerd and he has glasses, so you deem that he's a nerd and he's getting bullied. You're like, yeah, you have gigantic biceps and you have a 6-pack. Yeah, you're a complete nerd.
It's the Clark Kent thing.
Uh-huh. All right. My pick will be something that will make Taylor proud. You get Space Jam: A New Legacy.
that one was,
Have you seen it?
yeah. I saw it when it premiered on HBO Max. It was bad. But I mean, I think there's worse sequels out there.
All right. Well, what are you going to give me, Cradle?
Okay, well,
You better not give him that cult classic because that's so bad it's good.
What cult classic?
Well, we'll get there in a second. It was filmed in Tooele, I believe.
Tooele. I mean, I'm thinking of a TV show that's in Tooele.
No, not
Prison Break.
I bought the first season of Prison Break on DVD used the other day. I am so happy with myself. I cannot wait to watch that again.
That is I've rewatched it before, and I love that first season so much.
I'm going to give you this movie just because there's a chance it might help your list, but if not, I don't know. I'm going to give you Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
All right.
I like that better than the first one.
I've never seen the sequel because the first one was like, meh.
I'm olive branch here.
Yeah, I was not a fan of Paul Blart Mall Cop, but the sequel because the sequel almost kind of turns into Die Hard.
That's cool. So, Cradle, you have Dark Knight. Back to the Future 2, Star Trek Wrath of Khan, Space Jam, A New Legacy. Brett, you have Lord of the Rings, Two Towers, Empire Strikes Back, Superman 2, Transformers 2. I have Major League 2, Captain America, Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and Paul Blart 2.
You know what? I want to rewatch most all of these.
Hit most all of these,
Except
except
for-
for Jeremy's list.
I mean, I think I would actually no.
I know you like Major League 2, and
Well, not only that, but I'm sitting there thinking, when was the last time I watched, Captain America: Winter Soldier? Like, I have not thought about that.
Guardians 2 and,
yep.
Guardians 2,
and
yeah,
now Paul Blart 2.
it's better than the first
Yeah.
one. I almost gave you Big Mama's House too.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I almost gave you, Brett, Wonder Woman 2. I didn't know which one was worse. I thought you might hate the fact that I gave you Transformers 2, but I was like,
I think Transformers 2 is worse.
because if it was anybody else, I would have given Wonder Woman because I hated Wonder Woman 2, 1984.
That's so bad. I almost gave you Baby Genius 2,
Oh, I saw that on the list.
Jaws 2, Speed 2, and Mission Impossible
I like
2.
Speed 2, except the fact that it was on HBO so much that I've seen it so many times.
Do you know the funny thing? I've never seen Speed 2.
How have you not seen Speed 2?
I don't know.
HBO had that on like back to back to back to back for months.
The Out of Control Boat?
Yeah.
It's so exciting.
I know that whole movie pretty much by heart.
I like William Dafoe in there.
Oh yeah, Willem
Dafoe.
Dafoe. Willem Dafoe.
All right, so I had on another possibility. So I talked about possibly Top Gun Maverick. I also have. I just barely saw it. I totally forgot it existed. Terminator 2.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've completely forgot about that too, to be honest.
I had honorable mentions of Ghostbusters 2, Lethal Weapon 2.
Okay, walk me through Ghostbusters 2, please.
That's just a nostalgic thing.
Okay. Well, you know what? You were young and you didn't know any better, and that's what I'll just go with.
Okay. Yeah. I was riding the coattails of Ghostbusters 1 and I just wanted more. Let's see. Lethal Weapon 2, X-Men 2, Batman Returns.
Batman Returns was on my list.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised you didn't pick it.
Also, Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2 is on my list.
Was on my list.
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
I saw that, and that's the second one to the James Franco one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And then you guys said Spider-Man 2, Terminator 2, and the Hobbit 2. The Desolation of Smog.
I have Hot Shots Part 2,
Oh yeah.
Infinity War, and Ace Ventura 2.
Is Infinity War count?
I mean, Infinity War is the sequel to Endgame.
Wouldn't that
No,
be a part
never mind. Endgame would have been. I was thinking of Endgame. Sorry.
Because also
That would be 4.
That'd be the fourth Avenger movie because you have the Avengers, then
Okay.
you have Avengers: Age of Ultron, then it would be Avengers
Infinity War.
Infinity War, and then Avengers Endgame.
Okay, I wasn't sure if they would. I meant to say Endgame, but yeah, whatever. It wasn't going to be picked regardless. Ace Ventura 2 and Christmas Vacation, I realized, is technically a sequel.
Yeah, I saw that on the list, and I'm like, I don't feel comfortable with me selecting that.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of like wishy-washy with Guardians because it was either Guardians or Christmas.
I also was gonna think about giving you Son of the Mask.
Oh, I saw that on there. And Lost World was on my boom list as well because that one's just a horrible.
Anything that features Jeff Goldblum as a main character is horrible.
All right. Well, I think that's our draft there. Let's get into our recommendations. Cradle, you got anything to recommend us this week?
So my recommendation this week is I don't know if I'm going through something in my my life, but I've been getting into soda flavors, like flavoring sodas, and so for some strange reason I've been getting into the grape flavor.
Ooh.
So I'm recommending grape flavor.
So are you just saying like you like grape soda?
Or no, like I add grape flavoring to sodas.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. So you have, instead of Coke, you have grape flavored Coke. Instead of Mountain Dew, grape flavored Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like something like that. But
Do you have flavor pumps at your work or something?
we have freestyles.
Okay.
And so like I've been
Oh,
doing
that's right. You have the Coke.
Coke
with grape.
freestyles.
Yep.
And I'm still off caffeine right now. And so
So what are you adding to Sprite?
Sprite,
I have never thought of using grape,
grape
for
Sprite,
anything.
So you're just having grape soda.
grape lemon lime.
Sure.
I do like the grape soda you used to bring home back
Oh,
in the
yeah.
day, Brett.
I don't know what it is, but I've just been on
Crush,
it.
was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I've just been on it. The grape flavoring has just been hitting me in the right spot. So recommend grape. Go for it.
Just, and the viewers, especially the viewers, nobody's watching us, or maybe they are. The listeners, if you're not from Utah, this is the weird concoction that I enjoy for drinks. I enjoy Mountain Dew with grapefruit pump, a pump of grapefruit, a pump of, is it pomegranate? Man, I'm spacing it right now. I think it's pomegranate and fresh lime. It's a weird concoction. It works.
It sounds like it would work.
So, yeah.
So grape and passion fruit,
No.
or grape and pomegranate.
Grapefruit,
Grapefruit and pomegranate.
pomegranate.
Oh,
Is that what it is? Now I feel like I'm saying it wrong. This is what happens when you have foggy brain from being sick I feel like I've been sick forever. And fresh lime. So, but anyway, my recommendation is actually season 2 of Reacher. It is great. I love me some Reacher, and the guy who plays Reacher is really great.
he looks like he got bigger.
I know.
And I already told you, Brett, about Did I already recommend this on the show, or did I tell you on the sidelines? Because I told you, Brett, that. Didn't I? Yeah, the Breakout Kings. No.
Yes.
Yeah,
you
there's
did. Uh-huh.
2 guys from the Breakout Kings, a guy and a girl from there. So if I did it on the show before, oops. Okay. Cradle saying, no, I did not. This is why talking to you guys off the mic, I'm just like, oh, did I say this on the show or did I not? But yep, that's my recommendation.
All right. So I recommend going back and watching classic movies from your childhood, your youth, your teens, because I went and I'd always wanted to watch He's All That because of the dude from Cobra Kai. Watched it and I'm like, I haven't seen She's All That in for like ever. So I started watching that, and
Is He's All That like She's All That sequel?
it's basically the
It's like a reboot.
it's a reboot.
Okay.
Same storyline, some of the same exact words and quotes or whatever from She's All That. They have Matthew Lillard. He kind of makes the show from time to time. He's the principal of a school, and so he'll be
Matthew Lillard, a principal.
I know, especially from when you think about his character in She's All That.
Uh-huh.
He's just like this uptight, like, this carefree principal that doesn't want to offend anybody. And my favorite is he'll be making these announcements. He's like, so we're going to be doing this at the, it was decided that we're going to be doing this at the senior dance. And you know what? I'm fine with that because I don't want to offend anybody. So I'm fine with that. Like, and so you don't see him for the longest time. And then the main lady, she is the mom of the kid on He's All That, but different last name. So not a, direct sequel. But I was rewatching it, and the instant I heard the line, "Supersize my balls," I laughed hysterically. And I'm like, I miss like the 90s and the 80s where things were like really kind of crude. I feel as though they've taken a lot of crude stuff and it either is way too crude,
Yep.
or they're just dancing around with and just trying to imply as much as possible.
Where you're saying it's either a rated R crude instead of a PG-13, and sometimes a light PG. Like PG, they put a light crudeness in it.
Yeah, and that's why I like Cobra Kai so much, is because Johnny Lawrence is that crude. He's not super offensive, but he's rude. But he's rude in the way that people were in the 90s and the 80s.
Yep, it absolutely was.
So yeah, I recommend going back and watching stuff from the 80s and 90s.
Okay.
Will do. All right. Well, we'll see you later. Bye bye.